Hey, Rain here. Today is yet again another build showcase, and it's Orion and Sirius. Today I'm going to show you only one build, so let us immediately start. The first one is Orion. Let's start with the mods. We're going to use Growing Power, Power Drift, Blind Rage, Tendency Fortitude, and Precision Intensify for ability strength. He loves ability strength. Arcane Stretch for range or Stretch for range, doesn't matter. Arcane Reach for range, Equilibrium for health and energy economy, Prime Flow for max energy, and Prime Continuity for ability duration. These are the mods. For the Arcanes, we're going to use Arcane Crepuscular, we're going to go Invisible with Shade. This is going to give our fourth ability 3x final roll damage, which works, and 3% ability strength. The second Arcane is going to be Arcane Energize. You're going to spam a bunch of abilities. He kind of eats energy a lot. And this works on both your brother and the character you're going to play, Orion or Sirius, which is kind of nice. So the moment you pick up energy orbs, you're going to give it to your brother, 150, and to yourself. Really good energy economy. You can, of course, remove this for something else, but this is quite nice. These are the Arcanes. Here are the stats. And for the helmet ability, you're going to remove the first, second, or third for Rhino Roar. All these abilities are kind of whatever. This one is not the most reliable survivability. This one does no damage, proxy slash tick, that doesn't really do a lot, and it does have armor strip, that's why I kept it. And the third ability is like a very small pull that doesn't really do much. So it's all up to you. If you like the third ability, keep it, remove like the second or first. If you like the first ability and the third ability, remove the second. It's all up to you. I did remove Rhino Roar. I did remove the third ability for Rhino Roar. And there you go. These are the abilities. And now it's time for me to show you the second brother. Sirius, the second brother. Let's start with the mods. Instead of Growing Power, we're going to use Corrosion Projection. You cannot use the exact same aura on both brothers, so you have to like swap a little bit, right? So one is going to have Growing Power and the other one is going to have Corrosion Projection. That's it. The exact same mods. Instead of Prime Continuity, we have Prime Redirection. I didn't feel like adding more formas just to change one mod. That doesn't really do much. The little bit more duration you get on this guy doesn't really affect the gameplay. So yeah, it's all up to you. If you want to add more formas, remove this for continuity. Same build. Same mods, same arcanes, here are the stats. And you cannot have two helmet abilities. The main brother is the one that can add helmets. The other brother doesn't get the ability to do that. So yeah, we're going to keep everything. Here are the abilities, stats, mods, arcanes. And now it's time for me to show you the shards. For the shards of a highly command for to use is going to be 2 yellow for cast speed, you're going to spam a bunch of abilities, and triple crimsons for plus 50% ability strength. And that's it. These are the shards, and now it's time for me to show you and explain the abilities. First things first, the passive. Swapping between them grants you 45% ability efficiency for your next 2 casts. When below 50 energy, Sirius and Orion will steal energy from each other. The passive is not the greatest. It helps, I guess. 45 ability efficiency. It's fine. Nothing special. But yeah, that's the passive. Now let me show you the first ability from both brothers. Now for the first ability. Let's start with Sirius first. His first ability, you're going to toss a scythe. It pierces through enemies. It does damage. It procs heat ticks. And it also picks up health, energy orbs, and ammo for you. To switch to Orion now, you're going to hold the first ability. Now we're playing as Orion. His first ability is a sweep. It pushes enemies away. It does damage. It procs slash ticks. And it fully shield and armor strips. When it comes to damage from both brothers, the abilities don't really do a lot of damage. You can kill all the generic enemies, but you have to spam for tankier enemies, like heavy gunners, Exodus enemies, and it's also impossible to kill mini-bosses and bosses with this thing. It's not really designed for damage, it's mostly used for utility, to armor strip, and this guy is mostly used to pick up stuff for you. That's the first ability. Now for the second ability. Let's start with Sirius. You're going to press your second ability, you're going to create these stars around you. When you do damage, one of the stars are going to fly in. It does some damage, not really, and it has a chance to proc heat, and that's it. It doesn't really scale that well. It's just there. It's not good. Now for Orions. So his second ability, what it does is when enemies shoot you, you're going to release a clone of yourself, and enemies are going to like shoot the clone sometimes, maybe sometimes you, and it's mostly used for survivability. It's not the most reliable survivability ability, but it's better than his brothers. Let me show you. So, unpause these dudes. Shoot me. There we go, that's the clone. Lasts for a couple of seconds. He blows up, does no damage, and that's it. It's not really the most reliable survivability. It's just there. That's the second ability. Now for the third ability. You're going to press your third ability like this, and Sirius's third ability creates a field. When you're inside the field, you're going to get damage reduction. You can see right over here. You have to stay inside for a couple of seconds to slowly get the damage reduction up. As you can see now, it's 75%. 75% damage reduction isn't really the greatest because the way enemies scale. I don't know why did they made it 75% when we told them years ago that 75% sucks. That's why we got massive buffs on every Warframe. That's why every ability has 90 DR. So they went back to 75 DR. And you also have to be inside this field. And you also have to wait for this to charge all the way up to 75%. Not good. And when you're inside the field, you also get health regen. And both of these brothers, they have horrible health and shield, health and armor survivability. So the health survivability is useless, and the damage reduction is kind of whatever. And when you die inside this field, you revive, and it goes on like on a cooldown. Stationary gameplay kind of sucks, and the damage reduction is like okay, and the health sustain is kind of useless on both brothers. Not really that impressive. Now for Orion, you're going to create a black hole. It's sick as hell. It pulls enemies in, and that's it. It's just a pull. It's also the shortest pull in the whole game. It has a base range of 6 meters, which is kind of garbo, in my opinion. And it moves around. You can also push it with Orion and pull it with Sirius by using the first ability. That's the only interesting gimmick behind this thing, but it's just a pull. It's just a pull. It looks sick. It's the coolest looking pull, but it's just a pull. That's the third ability. Now for the fourth ability. At the bottom right, you're going to see a symbol with a bunch of holes. Every time you use Orion or Sirius abilities, you're going to fill it up. As you can see. There we go. Once this is full, you're going to press the fourth ability. You're going to start flying. Both of the brothers' ability strength technically snapshots, so your fourth ability is going to do a lot more damage. That's why you're going to build for a lot of ability strength on both brothers, just for your fourth ability to do a lot of damage, right? And you can see a symbol on the left, it's green. You're going to press left click, and the reason why this is important, every time you press the right left click or right click, you're going to get cruel chance and cruel damage on your fourth ability. If you miss it, or you press the wrong left click or the right click, it's going to not give you cruel chance and cruel damage. That's something I will recommend to focus on. So let's do this again. Spam abilities, fill this thing up. So left click is green, right click is red. There we go. Now we're going to spawn some enemies. Press 4 and press left click, right click, left click, right click. You can see from yellow to orange, red. Now you see constant red, and the final one is just going to explode like the other ones, and you're done. You're back to normal form. Now you have to spam abilities again to go back into your fourth ability. You can also use the fourth ability for transportation. You don't need to fill it up entirely. And if you double shift, you can teleport. And you can also turn the fourth ability off. It doesn't consume the charges. So it's kind of nice for transportation. But when it comes to burst DPS, the ability does. It's okay. you have to spam a bunch of abilities just to enter into your fourth ability. It's like a generator spender style ability, conditional gameplay. And it also has line of sight. So in a lot of tile sets that are like corridors and walls and fences, you will not do damage. Like over here, I'm not hitting them at all. There we go, I hit this guy, then I hit the rest. Yeah, it's kind of annoying there. So it has LOS. The burst DPS it does, it can kill all the generic enemies, but tankier enemies like mini-bosses and bosses require multiple fort abilities to kill them off. It's fine. I just wish it had like exalted scaling. That will be much better in my opinion. But without the exalt, we're going to utilize Shade, which I'm going to show you the build as well. So Shade. Here's the build. Shade is going to put us invisible. We're going to utilize Arcane Crepuscular. That 3x follicular damage works on the fourth ability, so we're going to do more damage. We're also going to use Tazicor. Here's the build. Tazicor is going to prime for us. It's going to proc viral for us for more damage. So now let me show you this build with Rhino Roar. This works on the fourth ability. Tenacious Bond does not work on the fourth ability. The 1.2 follicular damage stuff, that doesn't work. So now we're going to respawn these dudes, spam abilities like this. There we go. Go back to Orion, press Rhino Roar, press the fourth ability. Once we get near enemies, Shade is going to put us invisible, and we will do more damage. As you can see, much faster. Much faster. Better DPS and better burst. And there we go. Those are the abilities. Now it's time for me to show you this build against the Steel Path enemies. So, let's go. And we're in. I'm up against the Corrupted Enemies Mod Survival Steel Path. Going to show you this build. First things first, I need to get some energy. So we're going to kill some of these enemies before we go in. I'm also using Vectis Incarnon. It's going to help me out a little bit. There we go, I believe we got some energy. Beautiful. Spam abilities. Use Rhino Roar. There we go. Press the fourth ability. Shade, put us invisible. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect timing. Sometimes we go invisible. Sometimes we don't go invisible. It feels clunky. Crepuscular is kind of reliable, unreliable. They're definitely going to fix this problem. Maybe because you swap between brothers. So one brother gets the invisibility, the other one doesn't. Could be that. So now we have to get some energy back, right? We have to spam abilities to go back into the fourth ability. I wish the other abilities did something more than, hey, spam me so you can use a better version of me, you know? I wish the first ability also did some damage. You know, I wish the survivability was slightly better. I wish their stats, their base survivability stats were also better. Like, I don't know why does Sirius have higher health than Orion, but has worse armor. That makes no sense. And both of them have, like, garbage base health and armor for survivability. So if you want to survive with these guys, you have to, like, spam abilities to be immortal. Or you have to abuse shield gating. Yet again. Rhino Roar, fourth ability. We're in. Boom. Shade. Put us invisible. Shade. There we go. Boom. There's some enemies over there. Beautiful. Over here. Mm-hmm. Boom. Huge. And repeat. That's the gameplay. I believe you guys seen enough. I think you saw everything. Time for me to leave, boys. And be right back. And there we go. Sirius and Orion have problems, a lot of problems, a bunch of abilities don't really do much, they're kind of whatever. It feels like another copy-paste of Warframe. There's nothing unique or special. Another pull, another armor strip, a dodge, damage reduction, health sustain. You know, we already seen this so many times. It has another energy economy passive. It has so many energy economy passives now. Nothing special there as well. They need work to be good. Right now, they feel very generic. We have so many better Warframes in everything. Too much downtime, too much conditional gameplay. But yeah, those are the Warframes, the build. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. Leave a like and sub, and of course, see y'all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.